And they would, and the other point is we'd become hugely more productive because people couldn't just sit on their fucking ass. People couldn't go to Harvard, get a great education, and then waste it on a golf course their whole life.
Still have an economy that's just, that's just growing. How can you have any economy? How can you have any growth without profit?
Without waste? You can have huge growth without waste, okay? It's not about profit. Like I said, you keep thinking the surplus can't exist without the rich people, that somehow the rich people make the surplus. They don't make the surplus. They control the surplus, you dumb fuck.
I really don't see how you could. There'd be no incentive to grow. Let's just keep making what we're making now. That's all we need.
What is that? The most stupidest statement I ever heard. When you think people don't want a better mousetrap tomorrow? I don't want a better corn popper. I don't want a better cell phone. I don't want a better anything. I just want everything to stay the way it is. I still want to get cancer. Is that how people are going to act? No, I don't think so. We don't need capitalists to want, you dumb asshole. We do that one pretty well, all by ourselves.
Because that's all we're paid for. We're not paid to think and innovate ourselves. And then you say that, why is it that smartness is the standard? And I just explained that. If you can infer from what we've been discussing.
Yeah, well, I can infer from what we've been discussing. It has nothing to do with smartness. No, it has to do with scheming and conniving. That's the standard. And being incredibly cruel, callous, immoral. I could add a whole bunch of words, because that's the only way you can exploit somebody for doing work. That's the only way you can do it. You have to be an asshole. It's not intelligence that makes you a good abuser of human beings, you dumb fuck. That's what we're rewarding. We're rewarding abusing human beings, okay, in a clever way. Okay, all your capitalists, all they are is meat processors. That's all they are. They pull the flesh off of one human being and they process it and shove it in the face of the consumer. And because the consumer doesn't see the little arms and legs and the blood and the guts, because they don't have to see the little crying children when the coal miner's father, when he's dead, and his little kids don't have a father no more, and they're going to get kicked out of their house, because they don't see that. Okay, they eat it. They eat the stupid flesh that the capitalist processors have given them. But that's all they're in. They're meat processors. They're not intelligent. They're not Albert Einstein. They're goddamn selfish gorillas.
You're rewarded for being smart because that's what helps produce things. That's what helps grow the economy. And if you want to argue and say we should go back to the caveman era, imagine if we never developed the concept of profits. Imagine if we never...
Yeah, just replace the word profit with the word exploitation, okay? Because that's all it is. It's theft. It's just theft. So, no, just say, okay, imagine if we never came up with the concept of abusing human beings. That's all we're talking about here. Never came up with the concept of slavery. Yeah, well, imagine we would have been so much less productive, wouldn't we have been? I mean, yeah, you have to concede it was very productive to put people in chains and whip them. It was hugely productive. It was really productive to kill all the Indians and take their land. That was really fucking productive. And then to lie to them, too, the ones that were left. We gave them some land, and we find oil in the land, and we say, get off the fucking land because we want the fucking oil. I mean, that was really productive behavior, but I don't think you could call it smart.
Came up with this solution. Imagine if we're all still cavemen, running from each other, stealing from each other. How idiotic of a system, of a society would that be? We live like that.
It's a lot more idiotic to have some middleman do the processing for you, to peel the flesh off the one person and feed it to the other person. That's a little more idiotic.
For tens of thousands of years, and then decided, no, this isn't working, this is stupid, we can be smarter than this. So we started rewarding smartness. Our brains developed, and we used them.
Yeah, no, we rewarded scheming, conniving, and abuse. Obviously, the slave traders were rewarded. The slave owners were rewarded. The Indian killers were rewarded. I mean, what are you fucking talking about? We reward people for exploiting the motherfucking environment, turning into a piece of shit, and we reward them. I mean, it's just stupid. We reward people for, putting a bunch of animals in little tiny cages and tormenting them. We reward them for that, you dumbass. Don't call that intelligence. Don't tell me that's smart. No, it's crude, stupid, evil, nasty, fucktarded behavior. It's not smart. It's conniving. It's self-interested. It's selfish behavior, but it's not smart.
You say that, you say that the same things in terms of, equality. Well, the point is that just running around stealing from each other isn't that productive. You're not.
Well, sure it is. Okay, it's hugely productive for the people who steal the stuff. The 1% who steal all the stuff, it's very productive for them. It works great. They get hugely wealthy. So what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, you're just the only thing that changes in the equation is who gets to be the 1%, who gets to be the rulers. That's all you're talking about. The same scenario exists. The same meat processing is taking place. The same human beings are being abused.
Safe. It's not a safe, stable environment. It's just if you want to live in that type of society, then I suggest that you get a group of people that like that as well, and move into the woods with a bunch of apes.
Yeah, whatever. I could move into the woods with a bunch of platypuses. Maybe that'd be better.
And see how you fare against them. Because they will come steal your shit. They will beat you up.
No, the alternative would be is that they would see me as the king schemer, and I would be Lord Ape Man, okay? And I have all the girl apes sucking my dick. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? All right, we're talking about winners and losers, and the point is who should win and who should lose. And my argument is the simple argument that the people who are productive should win, and the people who aren't should lose. And you're saying, no, it should be some other way around. The people who are the most conniving should win. And I was just giving the simple example, no, well, that's just as stupid as saying the people who are the tallest should win. I mean, it shouldn't be arbitrary definitions of winning. It shouldn't be you win because you fall out of the right woman. No, it should be you win because you did the right thing.
And good luck running from them. If I was put in that situation, I'd rather choose, hey, I'm not strong enough for this shit. This isn't safe. I don't like my life. I'd rather go live in a society where I can sit down, I can work, where I can think about how to get shit done. I can use my fucking brain that I've developed in an intelligent way
to do the same exact thing, to just find somebody else to rip the skin off of. So the bully, you're saying the bully in nature is too big a bully for you, so you want to be the bully in civilization and take advantage of the little Chinese guy, okay, who has no choice, a little Mexican guy, or some other little guy, okay, who doesn't have any power and can't negotiate a decent contract with your rich giant empire.
Make my life better. So what would happen if the 3%, the top 3% richest people, this is a challenge you gave to me, what would happen if the top 3% were just vaporized and all their wealth was used to pay off public debt?
Yeah, well, you really don't have to vaporize them. You could just impoverish them. Just make them modest. Make them of modest means. Return them to people of modest means.
Well, I'll just say, it's just that would be kind of, equivalent to just giving it out to everybody or whatever. So you want to kill the top 3% richest people.
I just want to kill their ownership of the capital. So you either you burn the capital, you do whatever you want. Give the capital to the government. It doesn't matter what you do with the capital as long as they don't have it anymore.
You want to distribute their wealth among everybody else. And you ask, how would the average person lose?
Well, ideally, I would distribute their wealth to the workers. But we'll go ahead, keep going.
Well, of course, the average person would not lose from that. But because what you're doing is you're taking all this shit and giving it to everybody. So how the hell could they lose? I don't know how to.
Well, see, the idea was for you to compare it to some other percentage of the population being eradicated. Obviously, we could eradicate the homeless people. We're not going to miss them any either. But that would be those are already the two idols in the fucking economy. So compare it to eliminating all the architects, or eliminating all the engineers, or eliminating all the garbage collectors, or eliminating all the nurses' aides, or eliminating all the interns. Compared to that, all right, what would be the social impact of losing those skilled, hard-working people versus losing these idle assholes? That was what your obligation in this fucking little thought experiment was to compare it to other people, not nothing.
Address that in a way that would possibly say that everyone would lose. You'd have the same system emerging. Eventually, The people.
Well, number one, that's not an obligation that the same system would emerge. We can change the system any day we want to. That's right, any day we can just say, yep, time for a system change. We can do it. The people have that power. They don't exercise, but they have the power. And even if the same system emerged, well, look, if you have to, neutralize wealth every 10 years, it'd be okay with me if you want to do it every 10 years. I think it's just better to neutralize the possibility of inheriting it in the first place.
That are smart would replace those rich people because they would use these resources in a meaningful way to increase productivity and extract their own profits and make their own wealth, and after a couple of decades they'd pass that down.
Well, wouldn't that be great though if they actually made their own wealth? That would be pretty good for like I say, for the first generation. We would benefit, wouldn't we? We'd benefit because the people who had the wealth actually would do something to earn it, and besides falling out of a woman. You dumbass.